I went to go and buy food at 59th Street and 4th Avenue. And as I was buying food, I left my bag outside. And one of the store workers said, move your garbage, move your garbage. I'm like, excuse me, still don't insult me. So this Trump knows a lot of the Spanish people don't like Africans. They always bully me. So anytime I criticize him, they start using all kinds of mockery words towards Africans. They say he's been calling Africans garbage from Sudan, from Somalia, calling us stinky. So now, as soon as they hear Trump insulting Africans, a lot of the Spanish people that don't like me start jumping me. I left my bag somewhere, because my cart fell down, my tires fell down, on Quad Street near the Brooklyn Federal Court. But there's a police camera, street camera there. I started to go and take all my stuff, throw it all over the floor. You know, So this Trump is inciting attacks on immigrants, African immigrant like me, and some of them. My mother's address are part of a narcotic gang that kill people for money. And since, she's been killed, address set her up, friend that's crazy. A lot of Spanish people have been jumping me, especially when this Trump started calling African countries. I criticize this Trump a lot, because I used to gamble in his casino, Touchdown 2011, and they didn't pay me my casino winnings and called the police to chase me out. Then they quickly filed for bankruptcy and just sold the hotel off, sealed everything. So, and he tried to run me over with his car in 2014. At that time, I met with Eric Garner, who was going to be helping me with my court papers, and the police want to kill Eric Garner. I've been under FBI surveillance because when my mother brought me in 2000, as a child, they arrested me at JFK, said permanent resident can't bring children here, which they just were applying the law excessively against me. They have special visas they could have given me called humanitarian parole visa. It's an emergency visa they use to keep families together. If a permanent resident comes here and the child doesn't have the right visa, they'll give that child immediately at the airport the right visa, which is the humanitarian parole visa. And they made sure I didn't get nothing like that, at the airport. And my case lasted 8 years. My mother had a heart attack. And my mother's address were trying to kill her also. When they find out that me and my mother was suing the police for taking me and my mother to Staten Island. Our daughters have their own houses in Pennsylvania. They didn't live with us. So they were very jealous that my mother would get money. And my mother said one of them, Bolali, was poisoning her food cancer his poison and killed my mother in 2015. Got her locked up in the mental ward when my mother was having a heart attack. I guess the poison this Bolali was put in my mother's food as my mother left was triggering my mother to have heart attack symptoms. Also, my mother was having bloody diarrhea, so my mother was so scared. She fled out Pennsylvania, came to New York to go to the hospital, hoping to escape the poison the daughter was putting in her food. And my mother didn't tell the daughter what hospital she was in because she was suspicious of the daughter. And the daughter showed up 3 days later in the hospital. And my mother was wondering who gave the daughter information. So I'm thinking maybe through my cell phone records, because I was under FBI surveillance and I was talking to my mother on the phone. My mother didn't tell me what hospital she was in either, because she was just trying to, she was very afraid for her life, because she said that daughter was poisoning her food. So as soon as that daughter gave her food, the food would taste funny and she would start having bloody diarrhea. She would start feeling weak. She started, So my mother decided to check herself into a hospital in New York. Didn't tell nobody what hospital she was in, but she did tell me she was in an hospital. She don't worry, she's gonna get better soon. And the daughter showed up 3 days later. And mother was like, she didn't know why those daughters had to find out what hospital she was in. So apparently, I found out the FBI when they put you on surveillance, like someone like me that have an immigration case with them prior to that, before I got my green card, they leave you on that surveillance forever. The FBI will put you on as an immigrant, won't take it out. And they can always get the records of who you're talking with, where that person's located through the GPS. So and they said the FBI also employs some of these criminals to work as informants. So it may likely be that my mother's daughter may be working as an FBI informant, because my mother said she was using drugs. So maybe she was arrested and decided to make her a confidential informant to maybe set up other people. So maybe she was able to have access to my files, find out where my mother was. I went to the hospital, told her to remove my mother from life support and put her in the mental ward. And the hospital obliged, and they said that's how my mother died. She couldn't breathe. And nobody will help me arrest the daughters or arrest the hospital. For 10 years now, all the lawyers told me they don't want the case, that my mother was too old, that we won't bring their money. I'm like, this is about life. This is about somebody being killed. They were like, old people, they said wrongful death cases, you have to prove the person will still be working full time. They said my mother was already 67 when she was killed. Said, they don't want the case. And all the lawyers in America won't help me. make up excuses. So I believe somebody's telling them to help me. That, you don't want the FBI to get in trouble. Some of these lawyers sell your case out. So please donate to my Cash App NYC Homeless. I'm expressing violence in America as this Trump is inciting violence against immigrants, calling African countries garbage countries. So I guess some Spanish people are trying to get me killed so that the world people can now march against Trump, that he got me killed by calling Africa garbage, and then they hope to win reprieve for their fellow Spanish. So a lot of Spanish people have been insulting me, jumping me. I went to get food. I bought this food on 59th Street and forgot it. And before I came out, there's rice and pork. Oh my God. There's rice and pork. Before I came out, the guy was grabbing my bag, saying, move your garbage out of our store. I was like, excuse me? The police camera will record it. So they need to arrest all these Spanish for joining a Spanish riot against me because they believe they kill an African and blame it on Trump, calling African countries shit, or maybe the people will march and Trump will stop deporting Spanish people. So they're using Africans as guinea pigs. So FIFA is not set to bring the World Cup here, as this Ricardo also wouldn't help me. I've been telling them my mother was killed and I'm being harassed. If they could put me in a crime victim shelter, and this Ricardo wouldn't respond to my messages on Instagram. I saw him on the street trying to approach him and ran away from on Church Street and Fourth Street. Early this year, and he's been playing songs on this Instagram saying, stop calling, I don't want to talk anymore. Lady Gaga and Beyonce, that's someone, and he wrote a message that he doesn't have time to talk to haters. So I've been criticizing his administration for being hostile to African immigrants. So I guess he could send him the videos when I criticize him. And and he came and trolled me. I normally beg for money on Church Street and Wall Street, and he came there early this year without police escorts or nothing. So I approached him and ran away from the New York Street. And he's been playing the song, stop calling, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And he put a message, I don't have time to talk to haters. So I'm too busy. And since that the police tried to rape me when I was using the bathroom on Chambers Street, they came into the bathroom and said somebody said I stole something, and they were touching my genitalia, and they won't give me a police report on who's making up these lies about me. Every time the police will claim somebody said I stole something, they won't give me a police report. Who are these people lying? So I believe that police department is working with these gangs to kill Africans. So please donate to my Cash App, NYC Homeless, my Cash App. I'm not, please donate to my Cash App, NYC Homeless. I'm not looking for marriage, I'm looking for surrogacy. Some people, when I send that message on Instagram, I will find them, trolling me on the street. So I don't know if these people have access to FBI records also. So some of you people on Instagram, stop doing that. I'm not looking to meet anybody. I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for marriage. So if you don't have any money to give me, please. If you have money to give me, put it on my Cash App. I don't want to meet you. I'm sorry. I'm just not looking for love. I don't trust people like that. My mother has been killed. A Black American American has been killed. So I don't really trust nobody. I know I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking to raise a child with anybody. I'm not looking for surrogacy. I was born a man. I'm not a woman. So please, no. I don't trust people like that. I'm not paranoid. I'm not crazy. It's called self-care. I'm dealing with a whole lot, and I want to get closure, get my mother justice, get justice for myself. So no. I'm not interested in marriage. So so stop coming to meet me in person. I don't know what that purpose is for. Maybe you're trying to lie that I agreed to marriage when you met me in person. No. So if I get killed and somebody claims they met me in person and I agreed to marriage, they're clearly lying. Like I stated online, I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking for surrogacy. So there's a lot of scammers are now in America, and they disrespect Africans, and they believe the jury can award them money if they make up lies. So please donate some money to my Cash App. And I do beg for money on the street. Those that do give me money on the street, like $1 there, please, the same rules apply. Anywhere you give me money, it's just for charity donations only. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking for surrogacy. I don't want to be part of any cult. So don't bother me, scammers.